Hi, I'm Tom Carroll, past two times world champion. Still love surfing, that's me. Still doing it wherever I can. Still a professional surfer, in fact. So that's a trip. Well, for starters, I think the most important thing is just to focus on if you want a really good career, if you want to do the best you can do with what you've got, start studying the people who do really good at what they do. I mean, really start studying the people who have done really well. Study what they've done, study how they did it. Read the books of people that you're inspired by, and get that inspiration going from within yourself. You won't get it on Instagram. You won't get it on, well, you might get little bits and pieces on Facebook, but you won't get it unless you really go digging deep and take it all in. Read it, watch movies, just really dig deep and study those people who you're inspired by, the performances you're inspired by. Look back at the history of what we're doing and really enrich your experience. And then take it out there and do it, and just go out there and play too. Playtime is your greatest teacher. That's where we get to teach our bodies how to move correctly, how we just, we make mistakes and we learn by them. Just make mistake. Go out there and blow it a few times. Go out in competition, blow it a few times. Learn by that mistake. Always look back and learn. The quicker we can learn by that mistake, the better we're going to do it next time. So we can sort of lift that performance a little bit better. Try to broaden your scope. Try to broaden your life out. Not narrow it down. Try to broaden your experiences out. Try to broaden your experience out of surfing and anything else that you're inspired by, something that's creative, something that will sharpen the tool, because your brain loves and your body loves variation, variables. It just loves it, loves being sort of, fine-tuned by different variables. So great, observation of mine. I mean, and it's quite obvious. Kelly Slater does an incredible job at what he does. Incredible job at focusing on what he loves to do. And so, to take his example, he loves golf. He put a lot of time and effort into golf. He plays really nice music too on a guitar. He can actually stop surfing for a while and come back to his surfing and win a competition. That gives you kind of a richness in what you're doing in the water, and takes that experience out and applies it in the water. The old Tom, looking back at the young professional surfing Tom, I would have liked to, I would have gone, Tom, maybe you should do something else for a bit. Just give yourself a rest, because I overdid it. I overcooked myself in surfing. So I was burnt out a lot of the time and I didn't even know it. So when I look back on it, that's what I would have done. I would have probably given myself a bit of a chance to sort of broaden out, broaden my scope as a human. And you've got so much opportunity now today to do that sort of thing. But to do really well in competition, you're not always going to want to be there. I can guarantee that you're not going to like everyone. You're not going to love the judges. You're not going to like some of the scores you're given. You're not going to like all the surfs you're going to be presented with, especially in a qualifying series tour. So there's a lot of hard yakka coming up. There's some work to do. And so to get really, really good at all conditions, spend time at it. It's not going to come easy. So work on your weak points. Don't work on what you're really strong at already. The most vertical gains I ever got was working on my weak points. I never could surf small surf. I'd go, okay, well, Tom, go and surf the worst ways you possibly can. It just killed me. I did 6 hours a day and really bad surf for a few months to try and get up to the level of guys like Tom Curran, who could surf little waves like he'd surf anything. And I had to kind of learn how to move my body again. But it gave me so much joy to actually get really good in small surf. It actually improved my big wave surfing. So we get these gains all over. So you start sort of working on your weak points, gains come across the board. So just think about that. That's pretty awesome. But it's a challenge because you don't want to do it. So therein lies, we need support at that point. reach out to people who your support group, and or who's your closest mentor, and ask them the question, what am I not doing? Ask them the hard question, and take on board what they have to say. Don't just let it sink in, because that's the sort of advice that's going to get you further than you think you can ever get. Things will come in time, like the more patient we are with the gains that they're on offer in sponsorship and support out there as a great surfer, the more you've got to feel worthy of it, number one, to get that stuff. Because if you're really, really good and you've got a really good profile, there's going to be stuff coming to you. But you've got to feel worthy of that. Otherwise, it's just going to disappear out of your hands. Literally going to, you might get a lot of money, or you might get all this big bank account, you might have this great car, you might have all this bling stuff going on, but it's not going to last long until you feel worthy of that. So to get worthy of that and to feel worthy of that, work has to be done to get there. So it's just a simple equation. It happens to everybody, that. So be really aware of that. I think that's key, because it just slips out, comes in one hand, it goes out the other. Fame itself is a tricky one, and one that, our ego is probably another thing that gets in the way of really good performances. And actually enjoying life, the pure joy of life doesn't come out of your ego. It comes from a whole nother space. And so that might take a while for the young guys to learn. It took me a long time to learn, but ego gets in the way of really good stuff. So I think the more humble you can be, the more you can place yourself at an even ground with everyone, whether it be your greatest hero or whatever, and or even the young kid that's probably your nemesis, or the person that you're really up against. I think the more even you can be in that approach, the better the more inner resilience you'll have when it comes to the crunch, when you're really tested. If you haven't got a sponsor yet, write it down. This is the sponsor which would fit me. This is the kind of thing that would fit myself. This is what I'd feel good with, and this is what fits me. And visualize that. Write it down. Post it on your bedroom wall. Go, okay, that's where I want to be. That's who I want to be with, and that's where I want to go. And that changes. But if you've got a really good sponsor and you're back to the hilt right now, man, thank your lucky stars. I tell you right now, and say thank you to whoever it is who's supporting you, and don't take it for granted, because it just slips straight out of your hands like that.